Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City, where we want to help you build a Lego city regardless of the space you have. In this video, we're going to explore how to fix the Lego brick bank. Okay, I should rephrase that. Fix implies that something is broken, nothing is broken. So just take it as this is a way to improve the brick bank, or maybe it's a way to modify the brick bank should you feel it's necessary. I just wrote how to fix the Lego brick bank in the description, so you'd click this video. So thanks for watching, by the way. This is an expert modular building built on a 32 by 32 stud base plate, and personally I do like it a lot. I think that every custom Lego city should have a brick bank. After all, if there wasn't a bank for bad guys to rob, what would the policeman do? So I think it's fitting for a Lego city, and I think it is a great sort of business or building to have in the series of expert modular buildings. Some people do not particularly like the design. They think it's a bit boring because there's a bit of a repetition, but I think it's necessary because of the nature of the building. I find it quite stately and it's appropriate for a bank, and I think is also different enough from the other expert modular buildings. There is a laundromat built into this building. Now it seems a bit odd, but there is a storyline play feature incorporated in the build, so it does make sense to have the laundromat. But I guess in my opinion, the bank probably didn't pay its rent, so part of its property was repossessed and a laundromat opened up over here. So first, let's have a look at the outside and what changes you can do. Now I've already made the changes here because I did it quite some time ago, and that was to include ATMs here. Now originally it was just flower beds like this, and that was repeated on this side over here, but I felt that a bank definitely needs to have ATMs, and I thought just to change things up, since everything was repeated, it will be fine to place ATMs in this section over here, and we just have enough space. I didn't put it in the front because I didn't want to break up the facade of the bank over here, and it makes sense to have it off on the side. I'm sure that any bank that you have in your city often has an ATM lobby. If not, they would have ATM machines on the outside of the bank, very similar to this. Now let's have a look at what I did. I'll just remove this bench for now, breaking it in the process. Let's just remove that so that we can have a better look at these ATMs. Now, these are builds that I put together. In fact, I believe I customized them from different sets. I believe one ATM is from the Simpsons Quickie Mart set, and the other is from the Spider-Man ATM Heist. In any case, I did change them up a bit, used some of the parts, and I put jumper plates underneath, so it can actually be removed very easily like that. That's one, and this one comes out over here. And I placed a money towel behind just to make it look different. So maybe in the context of this particular bank, you can maybe think this is a cash deposit machine and this is an ATM. You could also use an ATM which I designed. This is my original design for an ATM, and that fits very well. The reason I didn't include it in the original set is because I designed, or I put together these ATMs and incorporated them into the build even before I designed this particular ATM. But this fits pretty well, but you can use any ATM you want. In fact, Lego has included many different ATMs in official Lego sets, so it's just a matter of customizing them so that they fit a 2x4 footprint. Take out the flower beds from the brick bank, put in a towel, a 1x4 towel and a 1x4 jumper plate, and you can easily slot the ATMs in. Now the reason I suggest putting jumper plates and not a plate, although you can do that, is so that you can have a play feature. So if you do want to have cops and robbers and you want a bad guy stealing an ATM, they can easily, pull open the whole ATM and just drag it away. In fact, I believe there is one Lego city set where there is a vehicle and a bad guy is dragging an ATM or a safe and being chased by bad guys. So you can do that. So that's why I put jumper plates instead of it regular 2x4 plates. If you do not have the set, let me just highlight the play feature that is included with this build. And that's why I think this is a pretty good build, because there is a storyline and the play feature incorporated into the design of the overall expert modular building. In most cases, a lot of effort is placed on the exterior and maybe some interior details of the build, but not so much with such an intricate design as well as a storyline. Maybe you might find it in something like the detective's office, but I think this is even more well designed and even more intricate. So this is the roof, and just like any modular building, it can be removed, but it is probably one of the thickest roofs that you'll find for any expert modular building, and there's just so much angles and details making it really interesting. Nice techniques also they use to create the detailing of the roof, which is very interesting because these are the zip line minifig accessory parts, and you never think to use them as part of a design feature like this. So I think that is really great. There's also a very nice chandelier that's underneath, and what's so great is just the way they designed it. It actually can swivel up so that when you place the roof down, it doesn't damage the chandelier. So all around you can see just so many cool design features and just so well thought out in terms of incorporating different design elements within the build. So this is the second floor of the brick bank. I do not believe I added any details or changed anything up. If you do want to improve it, I would suggest tiling the floor. I haven't even done that. And you can of course add other details. If not, it is actually pretty self-contained and pretty well detailed. Now notice this hole here. This is important because this is kind of maybe the chimney or maybe an air duct, and you can see that in the roof, and it goes right through and comes down here. So that's important to the play feature storyline. So let me just remove this second floor because I think this is where the main action is and the main interesting play feature is. So let's shift this just a bit so that we can have a better look. Now you can see this, that's where that air duct or that chute comes in, so that will be important. This is the laundry mat over here on this side, and let me just turn this around because this is the main entrance of the bank. So you have the bank tellers and staff would be over here, and you notice there's a giant vault or safe there, and this is pretty cool in itself because you actually have to turn the knob or the handle in order to open up the vault door, which is nice and thick, and that looks really cool. Now in terms of a play feature, remember that chute. So a minifig could technically drop down the chute from the roof and they would open this up and they would land on top of the cage or the vault, and this can actually be opened up as well. So in terms of a robbery or some kind of a bank robbery or bank heist scenario, minifigs could jump down here and get into the vault, and let's just assume they pick the lock in order to open this up. And here's the other thing, you can actually remove these parts because they're on jumper plates. That's just for easy access, and that's how that looks like. It's just on these Technic pins, which is very cool. And you can also remove this section over here so you can have a closer look. And what's really nice is you get smaller safes or deposit boxes which has different valuables. So really nice that all this is incorporated into the build. There's also some coins over here which you can slide out because there's a tray. Now this is nice because you see the gold bar and the dollar bill there, they actually connect to this particular part of the laundromat. So you can actually drop something in and it lands inside on this side. You can't go the other way around unless you turn it upside down. But so in a way, the laundromat is connected to the brick bank itself, which makes it really cool for a play feature. All right, so that's just to highlight that. If you really want to check out the detailed reviews and how to go about to do a heist, I'm sure there are other videos on it on YouTube. But that's not the point of this video, is how we can fix the brick bank. So what's wrong with the interior of this brick bank? Several people have pointed this out. It's not this play feature or this, because all this is great. What really is the problem is the design over here. See, these are the stairs to go up to the second floor. All that is fine. But notice, a minifig could easily just climb up the stairs and jump down into this vault area. So it doesn't really make much sense from a design perspective. It almost looks a bit incomplete. If you look at this, they have that door, which is of course to access the vault area, and only bank employees should be able to go through that door. But then it just stops here as though it's almost incomplete. So it doesn't make sense. So I think this is a little design. I won't call it a flaw, but just an incomplete design element over here, which I think we can improve. And that's what I'm going to try to do today. So if you want to fix this minor problem, or you want to modify it so it's more realistic, you need a couple of parts. So here are the parts you need to make this modification. First, remove this tile over here and this tile over here. What we want to do is to extend the height and the size to create some kind of a blocker. We don't just want to use regular bricks because that would affect the aesthetic of the brick bank. So we do not want to change that up too much. So this is what I suggest you use. This is a large panel piece, and essentially it will come over here. Now, if you just look at this, you realize this forms quite an effective barrier. It doesn't look too bad, as in it doesn't distract from the overall design because it's just transparent. We can make a case that a really small minifig can still squeeze through here, but I think it's fine. We'll just assume they can't fit, okay? And it's still better than having a big opening here. But we do need to secure this down. We just can't leave it like that. So this is what I suggest. You need to put a pillar of 1x1 bricks over here. You could use a 1x1 column, you could use a stack of 1x1 bricks, but I think that makes it look too blocky. So I suggest using 5 of these round bricks in dark gray and add that over there. That will act as a support. But I want more support. I want to connect this panel to the top of the stairs. So you use 2 round studs and just put that on the corner of the top stairs. Now note, when you do this modification, one thing you will not be able to do is to hinge up this staircase like that. I'm not sure why they did this, maybe just so that it's easier to access the vault door, but I think it's not too critical, so it's fine to keep it in a closed position like that. So now that you have got this here, you can take a number of tiles, and I'm choosing dark gray tiles just to fit the rest of the tiles here. And I'm going to use a corner tile that goes over here, and this connects the panel to that column. And then you take a 1x3 tile to connect the panel to the round studs you place on top. And now that fits very well. Everything is pretty much solid, but you can add another 1x3 tile just to cover the exposed studs so it feels more complete. And now with this modification, we have added a barrier, which I think still works well with the design of the brick bank, but now improves it. Now, one thing you would notice is there's an overhang of this panel over that door frame. So that looks a bit odd. So we should find a way to solve it. Now, I do not want to add another column down because it's just going to eat up into the interior space of the vault. So a simple solution is to make use of these 2 studs here. And this is what I'm going to do. Take a 1x2 dark gray stud and take a trans red and a trans blue stud, 1x1 stud that is, and place it underneath the plate. Or you can just use a 1x2 red trans red plate. And you're now going to fit it underneath over here. Now, what this looks like, I'm sure you can already tell, it looks like an alarm, or at least the alarm sirens or the lights when there's a bank robbery going on. So that is something you expect to see in a bank. It makes use of this overhang, so now it just doesn't look like a weird overhang of the panel. It looks like it's designed. And those are my improvements for the interior of the first floor of the brick bank. So what do you think about these changes for the brick bank? Do you think it improves it, or does it not make any difference? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.